What's up? I'm regripping this old board, and I was trying to get the adhesive residue off of it. And WD-40 is a good thing to use for that, to get like sticker adhesive off of things. But I didn't want it to soak into the wood because it's got a particular and somewhat unpleasant smell. So I got the adhesive off enough and whatever was stuck to it, so I don't think it'll cause a problem putting more grip tape on. But I wanted to clean the WD-40 off too. My mom's sneezing. Yeah, so there was also some splits in the wood. Just from how old it is. It doesn't seem like it had ever been wet. I mean, maybe possibly left outside, but not in the rain. You still hear it when you knock on it. It's got a nice crisp snap to it. But I did oil the bottom and the top where the graphic was cut out, because the wood is just so incredibly dry from just the last 35 years. But yeah, surprisingly good condition. I mean, it doesn't look like the graphic had ever been really skated or scraped at all, but just peeled from the cruel hands of time. But yeah, I rubbed Vaseline into it to condition the wood, which is the same thing I do on like pipes and magic wands and stuff that I make out of wood. So um, might upset some purists or collectors, but whatever, it's mine to do with as I please. So yeah, I was actually skating it the other day, just kind of riding around the neighborhood. But I broke it down into parts. It has these. I don't think they're actual bridge bolts. I think they're like a knockoff bridge bolts, because I think bridge bolts usually said bridge bolt across the top, but I don't know if that's. I mean, they seem pretty well made, but a few of them are a little bit bent because they're extraordinarily long, but that was normal for the 80s into the 90s because people were still riding thick risers, like half-inch thick risers, 3/8. So yeah, that's a side effect of that, is they get bent if you hit them on stuff. So that's why people tend to like to keep their hardware as short as possible. A lot of people prefer 7/8, but I don't really like them to be flush, and Indies plates are a little bit thicker, especially the cast ones. So like you want the nylon, locking part of the lock washer or lock nut. You want the bolt to penetrate that for it to be able to hold it. So usually I go with 1 inch or maybe even 1 1/4, because sometimes I run risers. But yeah, this board is, I forgot already. I think it's 9 and 3/4 inches at the widest, maybe 10, and that's like right across here. And this is probably closer to 8 here. So it's got an interesting shape. It's almost like a combination of like an 80s fish board and a modern popsicle shape. Um, yeah, real crazy shape if you look. You can see the way the concave kind of dips and then goes up at this wide part. I've always thought this was a crazy shape, but I've never seen one in person before. And again, it's really, truly surprising it's in as good shape as it is for as old as it is. So, really good find. Um, oh, what's up, Ray? Welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I want to replace the grip tape, the adhesive on the top. All I did with the wood so far is oil it, and that's probably all I will do. I oiled the bottom. I just kind of rubbed Vaseline into it, because that's what I do with stuff that I make out of wood, like pipes and magic wands and whatever. And you can see all the splits in it just from drying out over time. But it still sounds nice and solid. The way it rings out when you knock on it, that's a really good sign. Because when they get like old and waterlogged, it's just a dead sound. So, um, yeah, surprisingly good condition. So I'll probably just regrip the top and leave the bottom as it is, or I might put some like slide rails on it or something so the graphic doesn't get damaged. But maybe just a cruiser. I mean, I don't want to be doing like tricks on it or anything to risk breaking it just for how old it is. It's really is like a relic and would be ashamed to skate it to death because there aren't too many survivors, you know. So yeah, this would have been like 1990s, a little bit before I started skating, um, like semi seriously, I guess. I mean, I had little toy skateboards in the 80s or whatever, and seen my older cousins skate and whatever, and that's where I got. Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, the 80s is where I got like my introduction to skateboarding and thought it was cool, like Back to the Future and Bones Brigade, uh, stuff like that, stuff you'd see in movies. Um, but yeah, I didn't start skating until like 94 or 5 ish. Yeah, I had a pretty long hiatus from skateboarding, like most through my late 20s and 30s. Just too many repeated injuries, and it gets to be not worth the risk of injury. Um, but I started again at 39, just as a means to try to stay more active. And I'm not really one to go to the gym or like run on the treadmill or nothing. So it's like you get to doing something that you actually enjoy, that's physical, and time kind of gets away from you. That's probably the best way you could hope to do it. You know what I mean? It's like not even really necessarily trying for tricks or anything, just rolling around. I like the sounds of the wheels on the pavement, and it's just kind of peaceful and meditative in a way. You just kind of let your mind wander and get your exercise in at the same time. I guess like you'd go for a run and listen to music. I guess same kind of idea. But yeah, I was never without a skateboard. I always had skateboards. I just didn't use them much through my late 20s and 30s. Kept rolling my ankle over and over again. Hurt my knee pretty bad. Um, yeah. Um, I mean, I see people get frustrated trying for tricks and progression and like bum that they're not getting better or whatever. But it's like if you just do it for the sake of doing it and you do it enough, you'll get better just by the nature of putting the time in. So um, I don't do anything crazy. I don't like jump down steps or anything like that. You know, I'm gonna eat enough shit just just riding around. So um, I mean, I have improved quite a bit. I mean, I've learned. I would say I didn't get back all the stuff that I used to be able to do when I was younger, but I learned some newer stuff that I probably enjoy doing just as much or more. So, um, like if I had focused more on basics and fundamentals when I was younger, rather than reaching outside of my comfort zone for stuff that I wasn't as confident in being able to do, I probably could have avoided a lot of injuries and I might have never stopped. So, um, I enjoy it enough that I would prefer to be able to do it forever, um, at any level than to risk getting having an injury that'll put me out for who knows how long. Like I was actually getting pretty good and broke my pinky toe last summer, but I didn't do it skateboard, and I think I might have told you this. Just walking around my backyard without shoes on, and I stubbed my toe on a paver stone in the backyard and just was like snapped my little pinky toe out. I didn't think it was broken. I thought it was just stubbed, but it was a green stick fracture, and I was out for like 12 weeks. Because I didn't think it was broken because I just stubbed the pinky toe on the other foot like 2 weeks prior and it was just jammed and it got better. So I was like, oh, this one will probably just get better too. And I just kept skating on it, but not hard, and it just got worse and worse and worse. Yeah, this board was such a cool find. I remember my older cousins had cool boards when I was young. Uh, One of them had a Steve Caballero, uh, Powell also, and it's like probably one of the more common ones, like late '80s, mid to late '80s. The other one had a Sims, Kevin Staub. So this is like the same, a little bit more modern, but not much. And they're all dudes that skated together and still skate to this day. Yeah, I played guitar through the years too. I was better at bass than guitar, um, but I played a bit of both. Not so much lately. I mean, I do still have a bass and guitar. I just don't use them as much as I used to. I used to play bass for like hours a day every day. Yeah, I fell probably a couple weeks ago skateboarding, and it was my fault. Like I didn't really. I tried to do tricks before properly warming up, and my balance was off, and I landed kind of backseated and slipped out and hit my wrists, and they still kind of like a little bit sore when I work out or whatever, but they're almost completely healed. Scraped my knee pretty good, but it's healed up. Yeah, I always enjoyed playing with uh, my friends who are drummers. Uh, like matching the rhythms. Um, but yeah, I've had a lot of friends that are really talented musicians, more so than me, I would imagine. But I guess I could hold my own, I suppose. I was never very good at drums. It's like, and it's not even like I'm uncoordinated. I guess I don't know, never really got the hang of it. But yeah, I'm getting this board prepared to put new grip tape on it. But the grip tape sheets I have are only 9 inches wide, and this board is nearly 10 inches wide. Um, so I'm gonna have to do a strip this way, and then turn it the other way so it will fit across the whole width, and then turn it back the other way to do the rest of the length. And it's a little bit shorter than a modern board, so I think it should just work out. Um, might need to put small gaps between the sheets, uh, which isn't that bad. I mean, like I do that intentionally on sometimes, but usually it's like when you want to expose a graphic or something. Like this one had this graphic cut out, um, but it's just since deteriorated over the years. I wonder if that's something they make a sticker of, that I could get a sticker and put it there. Or I was thinking about cutting out the shape where the sticker used to be and just doing a collage of modern stickers over it and then putting clear grip tape over top of that. That might be cool. But yeah, I got way too many skateboards. Way too many skateboards. I think I've got 4 completes right now, and I got a pretty decent stack of boards under my bed, not even including this one. So I got the four completes, and this one's 5, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd like to have one regular, like a popsicle shape, and one like retro shape setup, like a complete of each that I could switch back and forth. But I got a few completes off of like Facebook Marketplace, ones that people got and decided they didn't feel like skating, I guess. So I got good deals on them. Or like, get stuff on clearance or whatever. Just stock up when you can get stuff for cheap. But I don't really do the type of skating that's likely to break boards, even though as big as I am, you try to land with soft knees and ankles and try to land bolts and stuff. I try to get as much life as I can out of boards. Like if they chip, I'll repair the chips. And like some of these boards I've had for probably maybe 2 years or so. But since I have so many and I kind of cycle through them, it makes them last longer than they would otherwise if I just skated one constantly to death. But I think my last 2, I retired them without breaking. They were just so worn that they were starting to be like difficult to skate, or like a potential risk, because it would, like the tails were worn so much my feet would overshoot, and I'm not trying to sprain an ankle or whatever. So, but yeah, I guess that's about it for getting this prepped. I don't think I'm going to put grip tape on it tonight. I want to make sure that none of that oil or cleaner is going to cause anything that's going to be like prevent the adhesive from sticking. So I want to make sure I get that cleaned off pretty good. But I think it's pretty much ready to go. But yeah, I guess that's about it. If you stop by, I appreciate you stopping by. If not, maybe I'll catch you next time. That's about it.